we need to talk about politics, right? Why am I saying this? I think that political dialogue is something that doesn't really happen anymore. You've got really divided, divisive politics going on. When I listen to political debates, or I see the types of debates that go on TV, in America, in Europe, in England, people are very entrenched on their sides, and they don't provide arguments. They just throw mud at each other. They call each other names. And I'd really like to make this video to explain my position on some political points, to show that I'm willing to change my position, because I really am. I'm willing to change my position on near enough anything, actually. If new evidence presents itself to me, and or it's presented to me, and I come across ideas that I think are good, and arguments that I think are good, I will change my mind on anything, right? Be that politics, ethics, be it religion, be it matters of taste in food, whatever. If I come across something new, I'm willing to change my mind. I'm non-dogmatic. But what I do see, and I'd like to try and sort of counter and show that there's another way of talking about politics, is I see a lot of tribalism. So, my voting history. I have voted for Brexit. I vote generally for Conservative or Liberal Democrats, and I've never voted for Labour. But when I've tried to discuss this, well, with some people, I've been told, "Oh, you're Tory scum, you're Tory scum." Which, fine, you can call me scum. You can think I'm scum if that pleases you. But you're not going to change my mind by telling me that. And you're not attacking. Well, you're not going to change my mind, because the reason why I voted Conservative is because I thought they had the best arguments. And if you want to change my mind, you're going to have to show me how their arguments are wrong. You're going to have to counter their arguments. There are plenty of things I don't like about the Conservative Party. There are plenty of things I don't like about the Labour Party. On the whole, on balance, I decided to vote Conservative multiple times because, on the whole, I agree with the arguments of the Conservative Party. So let's put this into some perspective. So I've just this morning completed a political compass test, and I shall show you the results of that now. Okay, so on the horizontal axis, going from left to right, unlike other ways of discussing where you fall on political ideologies or political ideas, this represents how you feel about economics and the economy and how it's run. So if you think that the government should control all aspects of the economy, if you're a far, far left, that would make you far, far left, right? What does it mean to say that the government controls all aspects of the economy? Basically, it's communism. So everything is owned by the government. You cannot own your own private business. You essentially, you can't pay yourself wages out of your own private business. Everything goes through the government. So when you go to work, if you have a dispute with your boss, you're really having a dispute with the government, right? If you're on the other side of the spectrum, the right-wing side of the spectrum for economics, you think the best way to run things is to allow individuals to have property rights. They own their own businesses, they own their own money, and then they can sort it out between themselves, right? And then what's most places like, right? So in the UK, we have a mixture of the two. We have taxes that are taken by the government, and the government decides how to spend that money, and that's sort of a left-wing way of doing things. And then we also have a free economy where people can own properties, own businesses, and they can do as they please with their money, right? And so I would be towards the right end of that spectrum. I would prefer that the government didn't have much control over the economy. I think the economy is best left to free individuals making choices, buying stuff from who they want to buy stuff from, and encouraging the businesses they like and discouraging the businesses they don't like by not buying their stuff. Essentially, I think that free trade is the ultimate form of democracy. When I walk down the road and I decide to go to a chip shop, if it's Big John's, right, they sell that stuff there cheap, it's hot, it's fresh, it's in good, it's an incredible business. This guy's running an incredible business. And when I go into his shop and I give him the ludicrously small amount of money for the meal you can get, £2 or £3 in a shop like that, you can get a really good meal. Now you might say it's not a very healthy meal, but that's my choice. I choose to go to that shop and I choose to give him my money, right? And when I do that, the shop owner has the choice to say yes or no to that. They can say, no, I want to charge you more money. And I can say yes or no to that, and I can walk out. So it's mutual consent as well. If you had a fully government-run economy, then the chip shop owner would open the shop when he was told to. It wouldn't be his shop. It would be someone else's shop. It would be owned by the government, or owned by the people, really. And the people are supposed to be the government. So yeah, that's where I fall on left-right economics. What about the vertical axis? So the vertical axis is telling you how you feel about authoritarian versus libertarian, or authority versus liberty. So I think probably the simplest way of describing this would be, some people have a conception or an idea about how the law should be, and they think that everything should be illegal unless it's explicitly stated that it's legal, right? So some countries are like that, and some countries are like, everything is legal unless we say it's illegal, right? So UK is probably more on the side of everything is legal unless we say it's illegal. Now, and then the other aspect of it is that if you're authoritarian, then you believe that that the government should be able to control and force all kinds of things upon citizens, right? And they have the right to do that. So they can interfere in your personal life, and that the government is more important than citizens. Naughty dog going into the road there, right? The government is more important than the citizens. If you're on the libertarian end of the spectrum, you believe that the government is there to serve citizens, and that the government's job is to protect the liberty of individual citizens, right? So in the previous example about left versus right economics, you can't really have a free market economy unless you have a government that, say, sets up a police force so that you can ensure that all trade is happening along the lines of mutual consent, right? So it's like with all these ideas, they're complex. There is no correct answer, and any political system is filled with mistakes and non-ideal situations, right? So I think that's just something that you have to, as a human being, you have to accept about politics.
Shall I do some tricks?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Amazing.
That's me trying to do a man. You're supposed to not to just to be able to balance on it.
Hey.
Oh, something right then. Just off on one. Ah!